Hello, good afternoon to you all, welcome. We are very happy to have this room with this activity that we're going to start, the MOD startup, for those who come for the first time to this type of activity, which is so traditional in the ecosystem. The idea is to inform those who have not been able to experience some of these activities. The idea is to show cases in 3-minute capsules of AgTech startups. This means emerging companies, the main characteristic of which is that they may replicate their technologies and business models seeking great opportunities. This is a definition so that we all understand what you will see here. These startups are made by groups of talented people, young professionals. We will learn about 10 startups, and we are going to start in a few minutes. But before that, I would like to thank and set up a number of rules. First, I would like to thank this luxury jury, María Silvia Torres Carbonell from IAEDNAE, some of whom you know. Thanks, María Silvia, for being here. Constanza Ferrero from Endeavor, Manuel Tanoira from Tanoira Kazan, Juan Manlinfea from Pampa Star, Arturo Tuel from the Buenos Aires Stock Exchange, Thomas Esterhild from Aapresid, co-organizer of this activity, of this demo day, Man Nixon from the Argentine-German dialogue with Edgar Ramirez. These are the jurors who, after each pitch, will be able to ask maximum 2 questions, raising your hands. And then the next one. This will be the case. A startup will be presented in 3 minutes. We have room for 2 questions, and so on and so forth. So good luck to you all, to these entrepreneurs, whom you will get to know in a few minutes. So let's start with the first startup, Ramiro Oliveira, co-founder and CEO of Cálice. A round of applause, come on.
Bueno, ¿cómo andan primero? Hasta que se carga. ¿Todo bien?
Hello, how are you?
Bueno, aprovecho el momento porque acá
I would like to take the opportunity because we have to optimize time. This was a test how the first one worked. Thanks very much for the opportunity. I'm Ramiro Oliveira, CEO and co-founder of Cálice, a company created in 2022, which basically engages in conducting virtual field trials. Why virtual? Because real field trials are a bottleneck in innovation in agriculture. If you come to think, developing a new biological, for example, or a new corn variety takes between 3 and 8 years of testing and trials in the best case scenario. These trials are not always perfect. They are subject to weather conditions, and as a result, they fail. Also, and anecdotally speaking, there are more data. This is the time when we have the most data on trials in the history of mankind. But the development time for new products is the same as 30 or 40 years ago. What we said was, why not take all those historical data and using AI tools and modeling tools, set up computational models that will allow us not only to understand the past of these trials, but also conduct simulations that will enable understanding the future of those trials in hypothetical scenarios. Thus, we can simulate millions of tests and trials, but in seconds, improve efficiency because they will not be subject to weather or adverse weather conditions, accelerate the development of new products because by running simulations you can run infinite number of tests and experiments, and reduce the environmental impact because we go to the fields just for validation and not testing purposes. This is what we have developed. As we said, this is the first platform in the world to conduct virtual field trials with our own algorithms and models. A company can upload all historical data in an Excel spreadsheet and in just one click have all data standardized, access to simulations and predictive models, as well as customized solutions if necessary. Since we started, we have accelerated the launching of several products made by different companies, and we have reduced by 90% the trials conducted by these companies. Now it's easier to develop new markets because if you have to position a product in Brazil, you can simulate those scenarios before stepping into that market. We have improved product quality because we are based not only on yields, but we can add quality as an additional layer, and we have improved sustainability and productivity because with these tools you can produce more with less. At the beginning we started with crops, but then we realized that our platform cross-cuts different industries, which dramatically increased the company value and our market capabilities. This was done in record time, and that's because we have a great team that has been working together for over 15 years. In 2023 or between 20 and 25, we raised $2.5 million internationally with a single objective, that is changing the agriculture paradigm and moving towards a computational agriculture, which is the future that we envision. Thanks very much.
Bueno, ahora abrimos el espacio.
We open the space for questions, if any. Thanks. Business model. Licensing the platform. It's a SAS model, but our challenge is to capture value of the value we are generating for these companies. That's a big question, and we are trying to resolve it. With one of the questions we are working, we managed to make them save $5 million worth of trials. Is it platform licensing? No. So what we are trying to understand is how to capture value from the true value we generate for companies. That's the path. Thanks. I have a question on something you mentioned. At an operational level, thinking of potential customers. The data input is done by customers, or are you working to automate this and take it from all platforms? The platform can connect to any existing platform, but we realized that even in super sophisticated companies, they still use Excel spreadsheets for their databases. So what we did was the following. If everyone uses Excel, why not make it as simple as uploading an Excel spreadsheet? And that's not all. When you look at companies' Excel spreadsheets, they are mixed up with different nomenclatures. So we have an automated system whereby when uploading the Excel spreadsheet, it also standardizes and arranges all data so that you can upload it in one click. Great, thank you. Thanks very much. A round of applause, please. This is the turn of Beam Crop Tech by Valeria Redondo, co-founder and CEO. Valeria. Good afternoon. Thanks for this opportunity to present Beam Crop Tech, a company that engages in plant genetics. We're increasing extensive crop yields. We know about the growing demand for foodstuffs by the global population and that the increase in agricultural yields are not as big. So we wondered whether it was impossible to provide agriculture with this productivity leap with one solution. We know that's the case, and we are doing so with photosynthesis. That's the name of our main technology, which manages to improve photosynthesis performance in most extensive crops. That expression of a single gene maintained in all plants that acts upon photoprotective compounds. What photosynthesis does is to replace the yellow curve, that is the natural photosynthesis performed by plants, by the blue curve when crops are protected at the right time. The difference between both curves is the extra energy resources, natural energy resources that the plant may capture from the sun and which is then used for metabolic processes. Thus, at the end of the growing cycle, plants achieve 10 to 16% higher productivity in normal conditions and up to 25% in over the control variety when sowing in water stress conditions. Photosynthesis involves more resilience, more yields, and more carbon sequestration. Does it work? Yes. We have had 100% success in all the transformations we have started and carried out, and we are trying new crops. Our business model is B2B. We work with large multinational seed companies where we have been able to optimize their elite varieties, and we accompany them along the production processes, field trials, and deregulation till the seeds are ready for delivery to farmers. It's Argentinian knowledge that is being developed in San Luis, and thanks to our customers having multinational distribution networks, we know it will be possible to bring this technology to all farmers throughout the world. As to market size, it's very attractive, and the technology milestones indicate that we are in the right path. We are just two founders, the one who invented the technology, Carlos Croco, CSO1 founder, myself, a CO1 founder, with a science and business group of professionals and advisors for strategic decisions. We know it can increase agricultural productivity, face the challenges posed by climate change, and contribute to global food security, and we invite you to be a part of this project. Thank you. Jurors, do you have any question? Manuel, can you tell me about funding? Are you raising capital? What stage are you at? We're at an open round, the objective of which is to obtain the necessary funding to conduct field trials in the USA on both corn and soybean, so as to complete the regulation dossiers and release marketing for those seeds. The amount, yes, we are trying to raise $2 million. I wanted to ask you what are the next steps and what are the next crops. We started with potatoes, and since we were successful, we moved on to soybean together with the first customer. Now we are transforming corn, and we have crops like camelina, sugar beet, several brassicas in the pipeline, and we are open to those that may be received upon demand. A round of applause for Valeria. Thanks, Valeria. Let's move on to the third startup. This is the opportunity for Lucas Garibaldi, co-founder and CSO of this startup. Lucas, you have the floor. Thanks very much. Good afternoon. I'm Lucas Garibaldi, an agricultural engineer and researcher, and together with Fernanda Santibáñez, a PhD student of mine, we founded ARU. It puts forward a very concrete solution for a major and pressing issue. The problem is perhaps the main problem throughout the world, that is the loss of biodiversity. It is not just an environmental problem, but also social and financial. So we need initiatives to recover that biodiversity or regenerate it. These initiatives need to measure success and measure biodiversity. Nonetheless, to measure biodiversity, this is difficult and complex to do. We need birds, we look at bugs, insects, and we need lots of field experts that will go to the site, take samples, take them back to the lab, analyze species, and reach conclusions about different groups, from mammals to arthropods. Diversity is not generally measured, and what is not measured cannot be managed. In this regard, at ARU, we develop a monitoring, reporting, and verification system that is based on two key biodiversity indicators. One are pollinators, and the other is plants. The protocol that we have developed is based on 3 steps. The first one works with satellite images especially related to vegetation. The second is hardware and software that we have developed with electronic ears that are installed on the field, and based on the frequency, we detect or identify, for example, the number of bees there are and their diversity. The third one is a predictive model that allows us to assess different scenarios. For example, if you want to perform a given origination practice in a given location, what the impact will be on biodiversity, or if it is any other practice, the same. All this is presented on a visualization platform where this information is analyzed. It is precise and simple at the same time. Many of the companies that receive biodiversity reports are long, complex, and they don't know what to do with that information. This is one of the fields we have worked on. We have been hired by governments, companies. This is a vision of part of the information we provide with the visualization platform, and this cannot be done unless you have a big team behind. This is a diverse team that we're working with that deals with different aspects, from those related to commercial issues, technical issues, software development, explicit models, machine learning. Thanks very much. Members of the jury. First, nice to meet you. You're the scientist that is most mentioned in papers speaking of bees. What is your business model? How do you sell this? Well, we are being hired by companies or governments. The difficulty lies in how these people ascribe value to these measurements. There are different mechanisms that have not yet been defined. There are diversity bonds where you need to verify, but there are other mechanisms in place that are relevant. And we are agnostic in terms of mechanisms. Anyone who needs to measure biodiversity needs a response that is scalable, precise, and inexpensive at the same time. So you receive these boxes with the electronic ears. They place them where we tell them this sends information from the field to our processing central area, and we work on that information. We are using that, and as far as biodiversity bonds and other mechanisms are concerned, this is very small today. Good afternoon. Surely you are thinking of biodiversity in the soil. Not in this case. Plants and pollinators as a whole are a good indicator of biodiversity, and they reflect what happens in other groups. If you choose, for example, birds, it may be very interesting, but they will not respond to the origination practice I want to engage in. If I have a origination practice that involves 1/4 of a hectare and we have migratory birds, I will not detect that in their biodiversity. Plants are good for that because they do not move much, and pollinators move just the right amount to measure the landscape we are intervening in, but not another landscape. This company clearly started to provide a true solution to a true problem. Our biggest challenge is to find a business model and to ascribe value to these measurements. But the thing is that people measure biodiversity more and more. It is being done, even if difficult, and the initiatives today are costly. Very well then, congratulations.
La siguiente, cuarta start.
The fourth startup, BioJuris, by Ana Lesia, project leader.
Ana, cuando quieras, adelante. Perdón, mientras tanto quiero destacar.
In the meantime, I would like to underscore that they are just sticking to the time, 3 minutes, and also the members of the jury for asking just 2 questions. So we are doing just fine. Well, given the progress of pesticide-resistant weeds, what would happen if we were able to program solutions in crops' DNA? At BioJuris, we optimize crop genomes for a more efficient and sustainable agriculture. I'm Ana Alessia, project leader and part of a passionate team behind BioJuris.
Over the last decade, the expense in weed control exceeded to $23 billion annually. The use of pesticides favor the appearance of resistant weeds, even though there are herbicides that at low doses may control those weeds. They also affect the crops. The development of crops resistant to herbicides has been a key element, but developing transgenics takes at least 16 years and $100 million. At BioJuris, we developed our own method called heuristic mutagenesis that makes it possible to divide by half the time you need to develop this. It's made up of 3 platforms. Our discovery platform, Heuristic, that makes it possible to assess hundreds of mutations and rank them based on the tolerance to these herbicides and predict with over 95% of accuracy how these mutations will behave in the crops. It also helps it possible to predict whether yield will be affected. With our swap mutagenomic platform, we modify the genome of crops without introducing exogenous NDA. And with our NRAS phenotyping platform, we can assess the performance of the different lines in a short time in a very efficient manner. BioJuris is not a seed company. It is not an agrochemical company. We co-develop technology with companies that are already in the market. Our strategic partners contribute funding and the necessary resources to develop the technology and for everything related to regulatory matters. And once the technology has been validated, BioJuris recovers the investment through the collection of royalties and in some specific cases through one-time payments. Suron is a technology we have developed with our most advanced method. Its benefits are control of difficult feeds. With our genetics, we are developing this technology globally through licenses and strategic partnerships. The Suron hybrids are being registered at the main sorghum-producing countries as conventional products. This favors quick adoption of this technology in those countries to create sorghum hybrids that are leveraged with Suron. This is our team that drives and makes our developments possible. You can scan the QR code to visit BioJuris' website and get information about our other projects, such as Hyros and Tryout. Thank you. Federico, go ahead. My question is whether this product development model is the same model you will use in the future, and I have the same question about the business model. Yes, it's the same. For a startup as BioJuris, it is almost impossible to reach a market without partnering with these companies. So that's the vision we have at BioJuris looking forward. Thank you for your presentation. You said that what you do is not transgenesis. Can you also use this in the gene trait? We use different biotechnology techniques, including traditional mutagenesis, the genome department, not necessarily for those conditions only. Congratulations, Ana. Thank you very much. Now, the 5th startup story by Juan Olivos, co-founder. Hello, good afternoon. Thank you very much for being here with us and for devoting your time to us. We're very happy to be here with you. The rules and regulations regarding the environment are affecting our agribusiness. They're affecting us because from a logistics point of view, it's a challenge. From an information point of view, it's also a challenge. And culturally, it is also a challenge. However, we believe this is a great opportunity too. If we think of EUDR and only thinking of the soybean chain as compared to our neighbors who do not have information quality and the field quality we have, we're speaking of fields that may prove that they are not the result of deforestation. In the case of Argentinian chains, we're talking about additional 200 to 400 extra millions that you may get. Now, if we consider the information volume in order to fill one cell in a shape, we need about 2,000 letters. And the state of the art of the information, we realize that we do have information problem. The capacity to absorb and manage all that information, especially if we consider all the agricultural management software systems, Excel spreadsheets, the information is overwhelming. It's too much, so we need technology to digest information. And this is what Trace Story does with its product digital passport. It traces a product from the season all the way through the final product once it's on the shelf for consumers, recording all productive events. And to this, it adds a field verificator that can tell us whether a productive unit has been licensed and authorized to meet a certain environmental rule. Today, we're focusing on RCC, EPA, and 2SBS. Which are the advantages? In a nutshell, the main advantage leads to all the other advantages. At Trace Story, there are 15 people working. More than half of them are programmers. This gives us lots of flexibility to adjust to any chain and any information sources. And our landmarks and our business model. Our business model is a B2B, sold as software as a service, with an annual license based on production. We also have a commercial department, especially for peanuts, soybean, and beef. And our landmarks are investments we have achieved so far. Thank you very much for your attention. Members of the jury. Silvia, what's your next challenge or bottleneck for the next few years? Our next challenge in the short term is that EUDR will be announced and proved. This will start on January 1st, 2026, and then we'll go to Latin America. So today you're in Argentina. Today we are in Argentina, and we're having conversations in Uruguay, Colombia, and Peru in very specific chains such as cocoa or coffee, which are also susceptible to this, but we're only having conversations or discussions. And I'd also like to point out that we will represent Argentinian startups at the Week of Digital Agriculture on September 24th at ICA. And considering your international goals, what do you plan to do in terms of funding? We are thinking of opening up a round by the end of this year for about $10 million. Let's have a strong round of applause for Trace Story. Thank you very much. We are present at Inventor exhibition stand, so we'll be there to answer any question you may have. You're all welcome to the AgTech exhibition stand as well. The next startup is Malevo app. The presentation will be made by Patricio, co-founder and CEO. Lisandro, go ahead. Hello, everyone. I am Lisandro, Malevo app creator, a native app to optimize the hiring of agricultural services. And today, I'd like to talk about an uncomfortable truth. In agriculture, you lose more due to lack of coordination than due to climate conditions or lack of technology. Every year, the reduction in potential yield ranges between 12 and 15%. This means losses of lots of $1 million per season just because there is not a good organization system. In Argentina, 70% of work is carried out by contractors. It's a huge market, but it's still managed in an analogic manner with last-minute calls, promises. And together with the seasonality of demand, generates bottlenecks at key moments, and it makes it difficult to get equipment at the last minute. This is where Malevo plays a major role. It's the first digital ecosystem to hire services. Farmers can get into the app, find specific technology, compare technological options, rates. They may access to credit and hire in real time with funding, and the contractor collects in 72 hours time. They get new clients, and there is transactional security validated by our customer service team. Our marketing model is a marketplace model. It's a marketplace where different services are marketed. We charge a fee there. There is also a fintech model where the parties get into Malevo to access funding. I lead the team together with my sister, Magalín. We're both economists. Our family has always worked in agriculture. We have a team specialized on development, commercial channels, and agribusiness. We're quite new. We started 6 months ago. Development has taken 1 year, but over the last 6 months, we have been active. We have over 1,000 users, over 1,000 pieces of equipment, 200 service requests, 650 offers, and 1,000 users. And we've been working with associations that help us validate equipment. We have received access to credit through banks. This is really a revolution because in the contractors market, people have always paid using checks. So we're thinking of achieving international expansion shortly, and we're very happy with the results. So I'd like to invite all startups that are here to join Malevo so they can sell their technologies as a service, because we need to get organized. Thank you very much. Hello, Lisandro. I'll ask you a question, then I will give the mic to Coti, who is a daughter of contractors. You were talking about international expansion. Out of ignorance, how will this work in countries such as Brazil or the U.S.? Here, 70% of labor is carried out by contractors. What about the U.S. and Brazil? In Argentina, the market is about $2.5 million and 70 million hectares. In Brazil, it's 10 times larger. In the U.S., it's a little bit different because usually service comes together with the input. You buy the agrochemical product together with the application. But currently, we are preparing a field test in Brazil and Paraguay. The challenges are different. But with the same business model, we can run offshore tests without having to unload there. So we will be following those results to see whether the right conditions can be met there. I'm very familiar with the dynamics. I'd like to know what your commercial strategy is to face the big cultural barrier. Good question. Undoubtedly, the cultural habits in agriculture, this way of relating we like so much, is sometimes something that stops technological technology adoption. We're thinking of working in stages. In the first stage, we will survey all the equipment in the country. We have already mapped over 1,000 pieces of equipment, and once we have completed that map, we'll go to stage 2, where we will have commercial development based on different areas. We have the Malevo partner figure that will help us do that firsthand, but in some areas that validation will be provided by happy users, recurrent users. So every contract we get is what we need to keep growing. Congratulations. Let's go to the 7th startup, Martin Tosco. It's the cattle breeding turn. Basto, go ahead. Thank you for your introduction. Basto aims at regenerating the world's soil and transform cattle breeding production. For over 150 years, cattle have been grazing in large extensions of field, degrading the soil and reducing production. 75 billion tons of soil are eroded every year, and cattle breeding accounts for 14.5% of greenhouse gas emissions. Now, if we understand cattle breeding as a key chain to capture carbon, to grow grassland, to fertilize soil, then 1.4 billion head is not the problem. The problem is management in grazing. This is why we developed a virtual fence, which through different stimuli continuously monitors, contains, and supports dynamic movement of cattle breeding. Our major commercial advantages are related to creating an IoT platform divided into 3 modules. A management module, where we have the virtual fence, a monitoring system, where the product is managed in real time, and where you can also monitor biomass estimations, grassland management, and measure the real impact of livestock through satellite images. This helps a farmer to verify and certify their field to obtain carbon credits. Another solution we offer, another differential advantage, is that our solution matches the producer's economic reality. Our goal is 1.5 billion heads in Latin America. Our model is a B2C model that is currently based on generating a community of Basto ambassadors that are not only early adopters, but who are also our investors, who are generating a critical mass of producers who get benefits by acquiring our products at cost price, and they also get $2 per animal per month. Together with Virginia Gonella and myself, we represent Basto. We're looking for ambassadors who would like to participate in this model in a round that includes 2 stages. The first round, $300,000. We already have 15 Basto ambassadors with a potential of 100,000 heads. By the end of the year, we hope to have 15 Basto ambassadors. I'd like to invite all livestock producers to join this product, which is changing the cattle breeding industry for good. Thank you, Martin. My question is whether today it is possible for the fence to be dynamic and for its size to vary depending on growth. We managed to start with the IoT platform, where we already measured biomass estimation. This has been completely validated. Our project was divided into 2 stages. Everyone knows that we started with a virtual fence, and then we developed a grassland monitoring module. That module is already available, and our goal is that our prototypes and the minimally feasible product will start supporting those data so as to take the animals to where they should be and do it more efficiently in terms of consumption rate. Martin, considering that this is a B2C model, which are your strategic partners in terms of institutions, companies? Our main strategic partners are those partners that give us satellite images, who are out-of-band partners. They give us satellite images so as to run our algorithms. And there are also platforms that are verifying and certifying through satellite images, carbon capture, so as to take that as an additional business unit and transform cattle breeding into an ecosystemic service. Thank you.
Muchas gracias, Martín.
Very well then. Thanks very much, Martin, co-founder and CEO of this company. Now we will give the floor to Martin López Saubidet, Silo Real, co-founder and COO. Martin. Thanks very much, Federico. As co-founder and COO, I want to introduce Silo Real. We call it like that because silo is a storage place. In this case, what is used to record actual agriculture assets, $3.6 trillion. That's the value of physical assets generated by agriculture globally. They're exposed to risks without traceability, as noted, and mobilizing a large amount of capital. The opportunity lies in making them visible and transform them into liquid, negotiable, and collateralizable assets. For that, we have developed the BRR protocol that combines different technologies. We give them a unique identity, proof of existence, proof of condition, knowing what they are like, in what condition they are in, a contractual test, and thus we develop the asset passport, which enables it to access opportunities to further boost value, and through that be able to provide insurance, issue collateral, and engage in transactions backed by digital transactions. We start with grains stored in silo bags. The VRR was developed with an app mobile and actual silo platforms. Each silo bag that transforms a pro silo has its identity with its location, stocks, and conditions, which are all verified. Through this, we have learned and realized that the boost infrastructure had to be prepared in order to scale up to other assets, engaging in partnerships with remote sensing partners. Just like Silo Pro, they have solutions in place for data capture and evidence capture that is management-oriented. We have digitized and verified 2.5 million tons. 300 insurance policies have already been issued, $4 million worth of collateralized financing, and we have started to use the grain purchase and sales contracts at source, and we have closed a deal with the Laval for Latin America, whereby all dairy cows that are managed with the Del Pro system can now access the Silo Real VRR and boost, as it was the case with the Liquidating Sunchales that accessed $300,000 worth of credit, leaving 200 cows with VRR as collateral. We are working on crop pledges, the traditional silos, and feedlot cattle raising. We have experience in finance, technology, and agriculture. We are supported by investors from the areas where we operate, and I would like to thank InVenture for the opportunity and invite us to program together the future of actual agricultural assets. Thanks very much, Martin. Members of the jury? Any question? Federico? Yes, thanks. Out of curiosity, what is the main hurdle you identify for a more massive use of your proposal? Well, We are right now reinforcing our commercial team, and that's where we're going to focus on. We have devoted too much energy to developing the solution, and now it's the time to promote sales. And our business model monetizes each asset recorded with VRR on the one hand, and because of commissions or fees received on the transactions or deals that are closed. Someone told me that you have made a change in Brazil. Can you tell me about that? Say something about it. Rumor has it that that's the case. So give me some facts and figures. There's a Brazilian in Brazil, I understand. He was mentioned as part of the team. We are based in Brazil. We have just recruited a person who is very seasoned in agriculture, who was based in Argentina. He came from the Cargill group. He's Brazilian. We are respectful for Brazil. We have a presence there, but we have to be Brazilian and be able to combine someone who knows Argentina, who is familiar with Argentina, and everything that helps us develop the tool in Argentina. But we needed a Brazilian in Brazil to help us there, and we are very happy for his incorporation into the company. Thanks very much. Congratulations, Martin. Who could have this person who tells you secrets? Ninth startup. Nicolas, CEO and founder of Vista Y. My name is Nicolas Bergman, founder and CEO of Vista Y. We are called the agriculture rapid because we collect them to analytical suppliers and drone pilots. Drones are no longer a promise in agriculture, but a reality. They are offering more reliable, safer, and profitable solutions. Argentina is not lagging behind. There are over 100 drones that are being flown, and by 2028 there will be 38,000. That's because farmers' margins are tighter and tighter. The limitations on drone importations have been eliminated, and we have a problem. The potential of drones is not fully tapped because farmers today don't know what solutions are there and how to contact them. Also, pilots are invisible. They have no challenge to sell their solutions, and developers, algorithm developers, don't know today how to sell their solutions. That is why what Vista Y did was to find a solution by putting all three parties into contact. There's the farmer who wants to access the technology and can do so without buying a drone. Pilots can fly more, travel less in their areas, and through that, fly all year round. And in turn, developers find the channel to sell their solutions through Vista Y. Our business model is scalable. We charge a commission for each flight and each piece of analytics delivered. It's 100% digital, from requesting the flight, execution, image uploading, processing, delivery, and payment. Our model ensures recurrent scalability and a seamless process. This is key for three pillars. The tested algorithms, they are qualified professionals, pilots, and benefits that generate trust. These players come back because the solution is part of the ecosystem. One of the success stories that I would like to share are the wheat digital maps. Through a digital wheat map in a 45-hectare lot, we managed to reduce the use of herbicides in 11 hectares with a 47% savings in herbicide use, savings of $1,100 for this plot, and 380% ROI. Less use of containers, less compaction, reduced carbon footprint. But we have other solutions, not only for wheats. We have yet other solutions, and we are working on partnerships with companies to develop yet other digital solutions for other crops and also for other industries. We are not a promise. We are today a proven reality with over 80,000 hectares surveyed and a large number of pilots and farmers enrolled. there is a vista wide for you. Thanks very much for your attention. I have a question. I do not deny the potential and versatility that drones may offer, but they have not yet been approved, and contractors offering the service for this type of application have not yet been approved. Drones are approved as on a test basis for agriculture, and ANAC has not issued a decision. Everything involving drones is illegal, quote unquote. Excellent question. Today we are developing a solution, and we are talking of a solution for weeds. There will be many solutions and algorithms that are in place already today. In the case of applications and weeds applications, use land-based sprayers, not spraying drones. A drone flies, develops the map that is conveyed to the land sprayer. A large percent of sprayers which are compatible conduct the activities. A 74% saving, $1,100 in 55 hectares. It's highly scalable. And in addition to this solution, we are offering the possibility of generating a huge social impact. Anyone today can, with very little, go out to the field and offer this kind of solution. And as to the question concerning regulations, all of the ecosystem is moving forward so that drone-based spraying will be regulated. There are certain decisions by the authorities that are yet pending, but the solution relates to land-based spraying for the time being. Any other question, Federico? Great, thanks. My question is the following, regarding your future vision. And whenever there are 38,000 drones in 3-4 years, the matchmaking needs there will be, whether they will be the same as today's or not, or whether you will have to evolve your strategy to match that. 38,000 is not a conservative, but a super conservative figure. Those 38,000 are the ones that we have considered through all drone suppliers in Argentina, and there will be far more. These are just the ones that have been measured as application drones. I would say that the photogrammetry drones can be multiplied by 10. This is what we have to show today and has been validated, but the ones that can generate solutions and are used for photogrammetry, the number is huge. It's super scalable. There is no friction. It's seamless. This is a tool that can be used seamlessly and generates recurrence. Farmers will come back not because of the drone pilot, but because of the algorithm. They want the comprehensive solution. The next year, the farmer will come back because he needs the solution. The pilot is part of the solution. Of course, the pilot is necessary, but there is a democratization of who will be the pilot, who is best rated, best qualified, who flies best, and best provides solutions. AI has taken that to a level where instead of developing an algorithm in 2-3 years, you can do so in just 6 months today. So that marketplace will be filled with solutions, and we hope it will be the solution and option for all farmers and pilots to match the need and the response to that need. Thanks very much. Congratulations. 10th and last startup, AGUA. The pitch will be delivered by Nicolás Otamendi, co-founder and CEO. Nicolás. Thanks very much, Federico. Happy day to agricultural engineers. They tell me that it's their day today, so congratulations. It was important to mention that. Let's start by that. My name is Nicolás Otamendi. I'm CEO and co-founder of AGUA. If this works well, let's talk about farmers' data. The majority of farmers in Argentina have lots of data at hand today. They have been collecting them through application, harvesting, and sowing monitoring for 3-4 years now. and they probably have a good management system in place with data arranged by plot, actual yield per plot, the cost of seeds, etc. But at the end of each crop season, they end up making decisions as to what their agricultural strategy will be for the coming season for each plot based on the traditional Excel spreadsheet and making a very limited use of the data they have at hand. So what do? We arrange and organize farmers' data on machinery and the management system so that they may process them and analyze them and make best decisions that will increase profit season on season. I will give you 2 examples. One inspired by Maria Cames, who is present here today. Good for you, Maria. We were working with a farmer. The average return on the plots was good. He was happy because 90% of the plots were profitable and they offered a positive gross margin. On average, $100 per hectare. But when you double-click on that and look into that plot using the yield monitor information and the sowing information and economic data, there was a 30% loss, and he lost $16,000 in hectares, which is not sown. He would have spared or saved those $16,000. This is a recurrent problem in most plots in Argentina. Indeed, this was taken from a real-life scenario. This customer with this number of planted area discovered that he had lost $1,088,000 in this hectareage, and we could see where those losses had been incurred. And if these areas are grouped, he may start asking the right questions as to how to improve efficiency. Yet another example. We are embedding trials in all lots. For this crop season, we included 45,000 hectares, and based on those trials, we try to optimize fertilization and sowing doses. Farmer performed tests on 13,000 hectares and discovered an opportunity for improvement of $633,436. These are taken from actual data from the farmer without changing anything he did, but just using data appropriately. I wanted to underscore these 2 cases and go to questions because I have run out of time. Thanks very much, Nico. Congratulations. I don't know if the members of the jury have any questions. Actually, they are just the last 2. What is your business model? Annual licensing per hectare sold to the farmer. I would do it differently. Well, I will ask you later. Any other question? Who are the team members? We are 15 professionals. We have offices in Brazil and also people working in the United States on a part-time basis. And here in Argentina, the majority are engineers, and then we have a small support team that provides commercial support. And are you selling in the countries that you mentioned? Yes, in Argentina at a commercial level. This is the first year that we have completed selling to large companies, SMU, AGD, companies that manage over 100 hectares every year. Also, we have had commercial operations in Brazil for the first year, and we are scaling up to our growers. Thanks very much, Nico. Well, we have ended with the 10 startups, but this is not the end. I would like to invite this jury to go out to discuss. It will be a heated debate for sure to determine who will be the winner. Please bear with us 10 minutes. I will now give the floor to Michael Mancilla, who will talk to you while they discuss. And a round of applause for the members of the jury and these entrepreneurs.
Bueno, la verdad que antes de los premios.
Well, before the awards, we'd like to share some announcements. And we also have some invitations for you. First, we'd like to highlight the prizes and the organizations that provide those prizes. The ICA, one of the winner startups, will participate in the Digital Agriculture Week at the end of September. Then the Endeavor Network. For these companies, expert support is very important, and one of the winners will have access to this support. Another prize is sponsoring and participation at the Active Forum that will take place next month. We'll share some news with you. And Aapresid's acknowledgement to sustainable innovation. We'd also like to tell you that at InVenture, for those of you who are not familiar with it, is an investment fund that came up in Aapresid, the goal being to support projects such as the one you've just seen. Today in Argentina, there are around 400 companies that are contributing disruptive solutions to the problems we have in agri-food chains. You have listened to some of them in cattle breeding, feed production, input saving, more competitive agriculture, more sustainable agriculture. Each of those solutions contribute concrete benefits to one part of the industry. Now, it is difficult to estimate the large number of benefits these solutions may contribute if integrated. Today, we all know that the margins are quite tight, and if we include nutrient replenishment, we know that they may become negative in Argentina. These solutions, which are growing exponentially, provide lots of tools. These solutions have been created by talented people, by our best people in Argentina, solutions that can be exported to the rest of the world. As you may have seen, these solutions are not only for the Argentinian agricultural industry, but also for other countries. This fund was created by producers and farmers. There are over 100 investors that are supporting the development of this ecosystem. It was created as a result of agreements with Endeavor, Aapresid. Today, we have almost 100 investors. There are also other CREA group partners. There are other organizations such as MySal, Argentrigo, INTA, the Argentine Cooperative Association, FYO, reference people from different companies, angel investors. Today, we have a portfolio including 12 companies that in the next weeks will add new companies. Out of these 436 surveyed companies, many have already been assessed. If you'd like more information about InVenture, you can just scan the QR code and you can stay in touch. We'll be here over the next 2 days at our exhibition stand in the AgTech space together with 15 startups that are participating. And on Friday, together with Aapresid, we will be launching a technology validation network. We know that the bottleneck in the technology market today is not just the offering. There is a lot of technology available today, and the growth will be exponential. So it's important to provide growers and farmers with tools to validate, to learn about the technology that is available, and to have information about solutions that may, technological solutions that may add value to their companies. And in this respect, we're talking about a network with over 1 million hectares that is currently being assessed by a call for bids of an Inter-American Development Bank. We will be doing this launching on Friday at 10 a.m. There is another invitation for you on September 2 and 3. The AgTech Forum will take place in Rosario. It's the 8th meeting. There will be investment funds, companies, producers, farmers, over 100 startups. There are already 18 international funds that have confirmed their participation, and there will be specific workshops for the different sectors beyond the panels. Workshops for entrepreneurs, for new investors, for companies on open innovation, another pending issue. Today in the world, startups have proved to be more efficient and agile in terms of innovation, and many companies, even SMEs, have huge business opportunities when working with startups. And this is why I would like to focus on this at this forum too. We have first-class speakers, local and international speakers. We have institutional support. And there are many speakers and organizations that are not on this chart, but who have confirmed their participation over the last few days. And while the jury finishes their discussions, I'd like to invite all of you to Casa Temple, where we will do more networking. You can copy the address there. We just want to keep talking in a more informal environment about everything we have been discussing here: entrepreneurs, investors, companies, farmers. Well, this is a brief summary of our news. Today, Argentina is very powerful in terms of technology development, even though it's a country that invests the less, not only globally, but also in the region. There are outstanding startups, outstanding fund managers. We have a lot to do as investors, as adopters, as business people who need to do open innovation. The rules of the game have changed in our country. We have to be efficient and competitive. It is always easier to do this with technology, especially in the commodities market where we are price takers. And again, today the solutions are already available, and those that are coming are difficult to imagine. So we have a long way ahead of us, and the good thing is that we're not on our own. No matter what the challenge is, we have an ecosystem with funds, accelerators, startups, companies that will help us undergo these challenges in the best possible way. While we wait for the jury to bring their results, we will stay here a few more minutes. And besides inviting you to stay until the very end, again, I'd like to invite you to stay with us until late in the evening. Thank you very much.
Está aquí presente Marcelo Torres.
There's Marcelo Torres. President of Aapresid. A round of applause for him, please. Just 2 minutes while we wait. We want to thank Aapresid. They have received the proposal of working on innovation, the validation network, the AgTech spies, the different talks. This would not have been possible without Aapresid and the open-mindedness of those who are part of the steering committee. There are different partners, so thanks for your support. We know that you always have a word of support for us. Amazing the number of people. It's 6 o'clock already. Many workshops have been finished, and you see people standing. I think it was Ivo who told me that these are the topics that Aapresid has to promote. Thinking of the future, and the spirit of this institution is reflected in this ecosystem. In the past, it was no-till, adapting software, which was the technology we had available, the knowledge. We did not have the science of the plot to work with us, with the sower, and that has become more complex. Today, with all these technologies, for those from my generation, it scares us because there's so much information, so many startups, solutions, that you don't know where to start. And this is the challenge. How can we set that path? Digitizing agriculture, which is at a low digitization level, we will be able to access site-specific agriculture. Today, it is not even 10% of all zone area in Argentina. We have the machinery, the way to digitize it. The jury is coming, so we'll give them the floor. And this will lead us to moving to another stage of digitization, which is data science, the use of predictive models, AI, traceability, having indicators, yields agreed upon with industry, and this will open up a challenging scenario. But we have to start as an institution with the Aapresid Conecta, connected with Technology Ally, and this ecosystem, reminds me of the Aapresid from the beginning. We didn't know where we were heading, but we did what we did, and you are as entrepreneurial as we are. And it's moving to see the values that you have, the boldness with which you undertake these. You say, well, I have money for 3 months, and they make the investment again. I say it in our terms. You use other terminology. It is a pleasure, and I would like to commend you on that. We are seeing the end of employment. People do not want employment, but chase their dreams, engage in entrepreneurship, and at Aapresid, they should find a space. We know how to generate these spaces, so congratulations. Of course, we have a future agenda ahead. Thanks very much for being here. Thanks very much. Thanks to the President of Aapresid. It's a pleasure to have you here. And it's great to have this space. It sets the path, and we are very happy to have this space and have room for these entrepreneurs and these people who are beacons in our system. We have the results of the voting. It has been a tough discussion among the members of the jury, but it's the hour of reckoning. Let's start with recognizing sustainable innovation. It is a clear sign of Aapresid. It's already clear characteristic by President. The prime is for Eru, Lucas Garibaldi. Please stand there. Then we will explain how we will go about it. Now the third position, the third place for AWA. A round of applause for Nico. Please join him. And clearly there is a definition. Second place for Silo Real. And the winner of the second edition of the demo day, the startup demo day, is Cálice.
Bueno, muy bien. Ahora vamos a...
Now we would like to invite each of the members of the different institutions to hand in the awards. But since we are interested in you having what you need and prioritizing the winner, I would like to tell Ramiro from Cálice that he will have the possibility of choosing one of three prizes within the Digital Agriculture Week: a mentorship with experts from Endeavor, or a booth at the BSA Tech Forum. You have the possibility of choosing one of those three options. Now? Yes, now. The Digital Agriculture Week. Federico. Thanks very much.
Puesto, a nosotros nos hablaron de innovar para la entrega.
Well, they told us we should innovate when it comes to giving out the awards, and we are doing so. Second place, Martin, same situation. You have to choose your prize.
El BCR,
The booth at the BSR Tech Forum, or a mentorship with the Endeavor Network experts. Hard choice. The booth. Arturo Duels, please come forward. Michael says that is far more than the booth, it's full sponsorship. So you have to show us your biggest smile. Well, Nico, you will have the possibility of scaling up, I know, with Endeavor. Coti, please come forward. A big round of applause for all of them. And I would like to invite all members of the jury to come on stage for a final group picture. And also, we will call the entrepreneurs. Apologies. Since we have Tommy Esterhill on behalf of Aapresid, please, if you can hand out the recognition to sustainable innovation. Tommy? We need to take this picture.